Hello guys, welcome back. How is everyone doing? Welcome back to another live stream. Again, it's Saturday, a little bit, 12 p.m. So it's going to be another weekly analysis. So I'm going to take a look at different markets. We always start with the dollar index, and then as dollar index for me is kind of one of the best to analyze. That's going to kind of show us what we may expect and from the major effects. Then we're going to go a little bit through the indices, S&P and Nasdaq, then to the major effects, and I always finish by analyzing a little bit of crypto, so Ethereum, Bitcoin, and Solana. So that's going to be how it goes through the live stream. So welcome back. I always do this live stream on a Saturday, and then I do another one on Tuesdays, which is more educational content. So on Tuesdays, if you have any charts that you'd like me to look at, any analysis, anything, any topic, specific topic that you'd like me to cover, so I can do that on Tuesdays. And today, interact with me, let me know any key levels that maybe you are going to be looking at. That's mostly what we're going to do today. Maybe try to see what can happen for next week, and let me know any key levels that you may be looking at to trade. We can have a conversation about it. So let's go. Again, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. I finally kind of broke a little bit above the 500 subs, so it's 502, I think. So yeah, let's keep going. I hope it's a proper breakout and not just a fake out. Yeah, let's go. Dollar index, right? So what has been going on in the markets? So last week we had such a good NFP day that in theory what it was seen as a good news, it was actually kind of seen as a bad news to the market, just because such a strong data in the NFP could mean that the Fed would indeed carry on with its hawkish approach and carry on maybe with 75 basis points increase during the next meeting. That's why kind of good news were bad news in that moment. However, what happened this week, last Wednesday, we had the new CPI data, right? And it came out at 0, another great news. And in this case, yes, good news were good news, because maybe, there you go, the Fed may not need to be so aggressive from now on. Maybe just 50 basis points increase, and maybe 25 for the next ones, and then hopefully the market is predicting kind of start to reduce the interest rates somewhere in the summer, in 1 year time. The Fed, some of the Fed members that have been spoken, they don't really buy into that prediction. They are still a little bit concerned, because we did the data came out actually at 0, so at the point we are 8.5 year to year, the CPI data in the US. However, if we actually look a little bit more into detail of the data, we see that the main reason for the reduction, it was mostly in the energy costs, because oil, of course, is trading at much lower gas prices and so on. So it was mostly the gas price, the energy costs that helped the CPI data to come out at 0. Because if you look then at food, household, and so on, it's still increased. It's still increased a little bit. So yeah, if by any chance the energy costs go up again, maybe we are going to see again inflation increasing. So this is what happened, right? Price was somewhere in here. This is our index. Then we had that big move to the downside. So where we were the day before, so price basically kind of closed somewhere in here last week. We moved a little bit. Price decided you did broke this high, you didn't broke this level of structure. And yeah, there was kind of these two zones maybe the price could go to, maybe somewhere in here, or kind of a little bit below. We kind of had this demand zone as well, somewhere in here that was still fresh, and price decided to just completely breakthrough, which was kind of expected after such a good news on the CPI. It was expected the dollar to go down and the indices to go up. That was kind of what we could expect. If the data was the opposite, maybe we'd have seen dollar index to go higher and the indices to go further below. It's interesting as well that it's basically at around the same price level that we had the NFP going up in here, and then we actually had the big data coming out. It's almost at the same pip and this line when the decision to go either up or down it was done. And price literally just kind of yesterday in the afternoon, evening, it just went there to up in there and it retraced. Of course, now we are within this zone. We may carry on to go higher or not. From what I can see in here, so initially I did had this demand before. It was kind of one of final targets, one of the possible targets from these buyers, from the sellers from the top in here, and now we kind of broke into all this level and we actually took this point here. To be honest, for me this is an engulf to the downside. The break of this wall. It doesn't need to be now. Actually, price could now go. If price actually goes all the way up, I'm going to still look for shorts because this for me is actually an engulf to the downside. I can see that even on the daily. Yeah, on the daily we took kind of this point here, just by a fraction of a pip, something like that, and we didn't really went to the zone underneath it or even the demand at the origin of this move up, which is kind of this last one. So I'll see this one as an engulf to the downside. This is something that we usually see happening when price is getting really close to kind of final. I call it actually the origin. Like, let's just say this is the last low that created all this move up, right? This we did at this move up, then price went all the way down, and from here we literally didn't have any kind of deep retrace. It was just a straight move to the upside. So this is kind of the last first low that originated all this high. And yeah, something that we usually see happening is price taking just one of the last lows before actually coming out here. You can see it happening quite often. Yeah, so this for me is actually kind of an engulf to downside. Doesn't even need to mean that price is actually going to retrace from this zone and go down. Price can actually from now actually have a deeper retrace. Maybe now it's going to be that moment. Of course, let's see. Price definitely still has a few zones to break through until it gets there. But yeah, this is how I see it at least. This is actually kind of a good daily zone, maybe even weekly. Just look at weekly chart. Yeah, yeah, that's how I see it. Yeah, maybe the break of this trend line. Maybe we're going to have a bullish dollar from here. We do have this double low in here, which is a little bit attractive, right? Everyone kind of look at it. Maybe it's going to be looking for collective liquidity underneath this double low before a major reversal. That could happen. I would actually be expecting that to happen before a major reversal if this low were still above this line. But because this low actually already went below this line, we may have taken already kind of some liquidity in there, and this kind of retesting here can be actually the retest then of this point here. And yeah, for me, maybe you can actually start having that deep retrace. Yeah, I actually made a post on Twitter that I was expecting kind of this double low to be taken even before a major reversal, but reality is that this low had already faked out this low on the left side, which is kind of the most important low from all of this. We already tapped in there. So yeah, and after that actually we kind of reacted to the pip with this point here. So yeah, for the future, of course, and this is still now a really attractive zone for price to come back and collect liquidity, but may not need to do it now. So yeah, let's see. Next target for me on the dollar index in terms of the lows, it's going to be, of course, around this area that I have in here. There's maybe could be some reaction there, but I'm actually looking for more of this zone. But let's see. We do have now kind of a few levels in here. We do have this trend line that would be nice to be broken. Something in here as well could happen. We may even use this low as well, something on the left side. Yep. Oh, let's see what the dollar is going to do. Reacting from that supply, from the news, from the supply. But let's see if it opens, if it actually turns. Yeah, maybe it has been a month now. So this high was created on the 14th of July, sorry. And now we are going to be on the basically 14 of, today is 13th of August. So it's been a month of this bearish move. And yeah, usually when you're looking at Forex, there are those kind of cycles, like 1 month, like 3 weeks, maybe 1 month and a half. And then price eventually is going to reverse, and then maybe it's going to continue again. Yeah, usually there are these kind of cycles. And just to finalize then with the fundamentals in terms of Fed and so on. Yeah, all this data has been positive, but one thing that we need to still consider is that there's not going to be any Fed meeting until the 20th of September. So with that being said, there's going to be still a new NFP data and a new CPI data coming out in September. That's going to, of course, be a more recent data that the Fed is going to use to then make a decision on what's going to do next. So far, the news has been really good, but there's no Fed meeting in the meantime. So yeah, if the next CPI data or the NFP comes out negative or worse than expected, maybe we're going to see still maybe the Fed acting differently. So yeah, let's see. Yep, this level now can be interesting as well to look at. Now that we open actually a little bit, for me this is ending goof down, so maybe this could be a zone to look at as well. This level for me, it can be interesting as well. Above these guys for some reaction. If price does go there, I'm not really looking for then a major turn from there, but maybe just some reaction until the next level of structure and then go higher. That's how usually I try to look at these mid zones that are still fresh. I'm not really looking. One thing is if price had moved from here, if it came all the way back here and react, maybe there was still space to go all the way back down. But now that price had moved so far away, if price actually gets to this level, I'm just expecting some kind of reaction, and actually I'm expecting in the end for price to maybe fill out the space and going close to the high before a major reversal. So not exactly the major reversal to happen from here, just some maybe intraday opportunity, maybe 1-2 days that price is going to react from here until maybe it's find the next level of support resistance, and price can continue. If I was about to make a prediction here, okay, let's pretend that price now wants to go all the way back to the upside, right? How price could do that, and at the same point start giving signals that actually wanted to then go down from here. Just one last point is that actually where this high is reacting from, I'm still, if you don't remember, I'm kind of still expecting price to go a little bit above this this high in here. This is actually where I'm still looking then for the major turn on the dollar. So this high didn't really react from where I wanted in the bigger picture. So maybe let me just review that zone one more time. Yeah, let's go here to the weekly. yeah, so price is still within, underneath this low, this high in here. We kind of fake out a zone in there on the daily time frame, a week. That's where this kind of second. This is where this line is in here. But my final zone is actually a little bit above this week. That's actually where I'm still looking eventually for dollar to get to, and a little bit the same on the euro, a little bit underneath it. But yeah, on the dollar, I'm literally still expecting price to go a little bit above, maybe close to that 110 level, and not just stay underneath this 19. So yeah, this is long term. I don't know when price is going to go there, but that's actually what I'm looking for before maybe the major reversal. So with that in mind, if by any chance if price still wants to fake out this high, it can. At least for me, I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. Yeah, if that happens, if by any chance when price gets closer to these highs, if it doesn't really turn in here, and if it wants to go a little bit higher and react from that level, I wouldn't be surprised. React from here, I wouldn't be surprised, and then maybe turn. It's a similar level where actually dollar yen actually had reacted so far. So in the case that price actually wants to turn from here. Okay, Monday opens, price goes up. Eventually we're going to take these guys and they break this trend line in here. Maybe just break it, maybe retest trend line and go higher. Maybe you're going to leave this on for the future. So it could indeed kind of retest this trend line and go higher a little bit. Take out these guys. Yeah, we can retest a little bit this level, but eventually we're going to break it. I actually want to see this one to be broken. Yep. So we can break that level. There's something in here. So repeat everything. This one or this one. Let's go higher. Let's not respect this one. Let's actually break this one. And now let's go down again, and then we go up. Respect this level a little bit. Go down. Create something and go up from here. And this is actually where maybe you're going to have the retrace. Somewhere in here, you can have that deeper retrace a little bit, which works as well as an engulf to the upside because you just broke that one. We are going to retrace. And yeah, it depends if you want to have a deeper retrace to go all the way down, then you need to kind of break these levels, and from here we're going to go down to test at least this level maybe and go down and go up from there. Or if you just don't want to have that such a deep retrace, maybe you can just maybe retest this level somewhere in here or in here as well, and we can go from there. Can go from there, start compressing a little bit. Maybe this one there's no orders in there. Maybe take a little bit of orders from here. Retest this previous level of support resistance in there, and go higher. And this is when you need to start seeing if you actually want to turn or not. If you start breaking some lows on the way, maybe this can be a good zone to turn. Otherwise, you are going to just continue and eventually kind of pretend that this high is actually being respected for a while, or then price just continue to go higher and I'll take it and reverse from there. So it's going to be one of the two zones. Now I don't mind to see price reaction from here, a little bit from there. This can be interesting. And then it's just to see as price is evolving, trying to see where price should have been respected and it wasn't, and that's a good zone for price to look for the trend continuation setup. For example, if this supply zone is rejected, it's a good zone for then price to react from. Maybe something in here, and of course we have this level so the price can come and go. Maybe even from here, price actually can just retrace all the way back here just to continue. So there are a few zones in there, but yeah, just follow price along see what spaces are going to be created. So maybe after the break of this wall, maybe there's space to go up until here, and so on and so forth. So this could be some ways that price could move until it reverses. If dollar just wants to continue to go down, it can. We do have this level. Then there's going to be underneath some other level as well. Yeah, let's see. Yep, let's see what's going to happen in there. Yeah, curious to see. The indices, right? With so good news, the indices have been just going higher and higher. We finally, actually in this case, S&P kind of catch up a little bit with Nasdaq. S&P has been lagging so much comparing with Nasdaq. Nasdaq has been reacting from this level for a long time and then from this level for a long time, while S&P has been completely lagging. So it would have been a great opportunity to just kind of going long on S&P, just expecting it to follow through with what Nasdaq has been doing, like the levels that has been trading at. Both of them were quite nicely after the break of this kind of important level of resistance. Both Nasdaq and S&P, you can see how almost precisely to the pip they reacted from. S&P did exactly the same. Nasdaq did exactly the same. Actually, Nasdaq reacted from there around the period of the CPI data. S&P it was just after that. Nasdaq at finally, if I'm not mistaken, yesterday night, it finally broke this triple top, which was one of the areas that I was kind of concerned, like looking at it. I'll be surprised if it wanted to turn, I'll be surprised if price wouldn't take this triple top before the turn, and kind of expecting the same on the S&P for price to actually kind of before any turn, if you're actually about to turn, to take this triple top, maybe react from this level, could be something that we could see. I do have this trend line in here. It's been created from the higher highs. Yeah, it starts looking a little bit bullish, to be honest. I don't really like where S&P is reacting from. I prefer it a little bit where Nasdaq was. Yeah, it's going to be, we are at key levels now. Can delete this. We had good key levels in here. This one in here can be. Yeah, all this support in here. Yeah, we do have this level. This is literally kind of we can see this price that is above this triple top with that level. That would be for sure the zone that I will try to look at to see how price reacts from there. But so far, something that is important to notice as well, we haven't really broken. We are not breaking lows, which is a good sign for the bullish. Anytime price actually makes some kind of retracement, we are not really breaking. We are not breaking any lows, and until we actually start seeing some lows being broken, the momentum to the upside, it kind of continues still to be strong. Right, we are not seeing that. We, for example, even before this major turn, we actually kind of broke these highs, and then it kind of broke it there. But even somewhere in here, we kind of start breaking some highs a little bit. Before that, the only lows that I can see being broken is kind of this level. After that, it's just respecting lows every single time. Respect lows, it respect lows, it respect lows, it respect important levels of structure. There's no breaking of lows just yet. Just yet, there isn't. So, for example, if we do see this low being broken, that could be kind of a start. And to be honest, anytime I actually see a low being broken, I actually like to see then the high that originated that low to be broken to still be faked out before even considering looking to or a major reversal. So on these indices, the momentum is bullish. I want to take a look at that level. Maybe something in there as well can be interesting. Yeah, if we even take a look at this, which level of the retracement are we in here? Yeah, we have recovered more than 50%. The 61 actually kind of matches quite nice with this supply zone. But yeah, interesting that the news have been really great to the market, so no surprise that indices have been moving like this. Yeah, nice trend continuation in there. Yep, nice one. Yep. Nasdaq has been doing the same, with the difference that it's been reading comparing with the S&P. And yeah, we haven't really broken. Yesterday we closed a little bit above the previous high. But the line is still somewhere in there, at least with this last high in here. We haven't really broken. So what I mentioned before as well was, yeah, this key level of kind of resistance. You can see how nicely it reacted actually to the peep in there almost. And then yeah, there we had the CPI data and price just took off to the upside. Yeah, in terms of actually pattern, I didn't make this scenario on previous Tuesday's live stream, but this is actually a really nice setup that I like to see in terms of trend continuation setup. I think I have the short in my channel explaining that, which is, yeah, this is kind of the support zone that you want to see, right? This, the resistance zone that is broken, and then price. In this case, the demand is actually in alignment with the demand is actually in alignment with the resistance zone, because otherwise sometimes you can have kind of the demand somewhere in here and then you break it. And in this case, we kind of have two levels to look at. We would have this first level and then the demand zone, right? Maybe not so far away, a little bit closer. But in this case, we actually have kind of both on the same at the same line, kind of, which it's okay. So if we have like this, price can actually retrace to this level first, retrace again, create a new high. So we have that second high in here. It's kind of what we have in here. We have one high and we have another high, another higher high, I mean, without actually price coming all the way back here to take the orders from this and from this demand zone. It actually reacted from this SR zone in here first. Yeah, and then after that, it's just price comes back. It kind of pretends that this zone is being respected, just to come all the way back down and reverse. And we kind of had exactly that in here. And I think there's something again similar happening somewhere in there. Same scenario. Yeah, in this case, as you can see, the support resistance, this SR zone with the demand is actually aligned on the same spot. But what do they create? They created kind of a small structure somewhere kind of above it with these highs. But actually managed to create that zone where price kind of leave the space for the real zone in there. But the point that I want to make is the importance of this higher high. The higher high is what it matters in this scenario. And actually realized that yes, indeed we created this higher high. We looked on the left side, it actually reacted kind of from a good zone. However, we have the triple top that maybe price would suggest to continue. And the way price actually reacted from this support resistance zone, it's actually really nice reaction. And it was the first point that actually kind of, I was expecting good news for the CPI, expecting the Nasdaq to go up. For instance, I was even looking for possible sells in here, but after I actually realized how this long-term scenario, I really stopped kind of looking for shorts in there. Yeah, I think I finished kind of my live stream last week when I talked about Nasdaq of a good zone to look for shorts. Price actually still reacted from there, but the reaction was not nothing special. It literally just retest this new next level of structure and it just move on. It was somewhere in here that I mentioned there was still orders, exactly where price reacted to, and then price will just carry on. And as I mentioned before, with the S&P, we are not breaking lows, so since we are not breaking lows, the momentum is there. The momentum to the upside is still there. Price just really reacted from this nice level to the end of this compression down. Continue then to respect this demand zone. Price moved up. It's just crazy the way price moves at the opening. It just spikes up and down. It's crazy the way price, the way these indices behave when price opens. Like for 15 minutes, it's just crazy. Yeah, there you go. Price still respecting highs and lows, and lows, and yeah, momentum to the upside is there. Yep. So since that happens, again, possible zones to look for. Possible zones to look for shorts, if we are looking for shorts. Similar supply zone in the similar supply zone on the S&P. However, this level, the base of it kind of almost was touched by this triple top in there. There's a little bit more clear space on the S&P. After that, we kind of have this level of support resistance in there. We have all these highs as well created. I'm not really looking for anything in here. It doesn't really look that there's many zones for price to react from. Like any fresh distinguished zone. For example, we had literally this demand zone, which is actually a good zone. That's why I mentioned that I preferred where Nasdaq reacted from on the lows. So price did actually reacted quite nicely from this demand zone. It's visible on the daily, weekly, and even monthly chart. Even with this trend line as well, quite nicely. Well, if you start looking at this, let's go to the month. Price went up. Price actually kind of, yeah, this will actually already taken this one, so expecting price to go down in the future could be expected. Again, this low in here took this one in there, kind of. Another indication that maybe price is about to turn, and it finally turned. And in terms of looking at that, just on this monthly scale, yeah, in here is kind of possible next one. Or we do have kind of this level in here with this line. Aside from that, it's just at the higher high. If price goes to the higher high, of course I'm expecting new higher highs to be created, new all-time highs to be created. So if we go back to the weekly, which again it's there, yeah, full compression zone. Again, that break below that low, yeah, eventually that price just turned. There is maybe this zone in there. Again, I don't really want to see price going that high. Not expecting price to go that high, but there is this level somewhere in there. This one may have been taken by this one. And you have this one, but this looks like a little bit in the middle. This looks like a little bit in the middle of nothing. Let's see. A little bit above it. This one I think was taken, so maybe a little bit above that zone. Yeah, interesting. There isn't that many queen zones. there isn't anything that kind of stands out completely on the way above, which is weird. Yeah, this level, like anything in there. This one has been taken in there, so something in there. This one, I think, it's been taken by all this zone, so maybe something above it. Yeah, let's see how price behaves in there. Yep. Meanwhile, respecting, and respecting. So yeah, eventually I want to see some O's being taken before anything else. We just broke this kind of trend line as well. Can be even used now as a continuation move to the upside, or just a reversal. Let's see how price behaves from that zone. If there's a good reaction there, good reaction, maybe we can see something. Otherwise maybe just continue move to the downside. Let's go to the major FX. It's before that. So Euro index, it's another one that I've been looking at. We did broke this low that we have in there. I don't have any more historical data on the left side. We did broke this high in here, so let's actually see how price. Let's actually see how price kind of is going to react somewhere in here. If we're going to kind of have a good reaction there and go higher, we have kind of all this liquidity in here. However, question mark is what's going on the left side, which I don't have data for that, so it's always a little bit weird without having the information. Meanwhile, we can see that we did broke this high in here. There's price kind of still for price to go higher, and I kind of like this level in here that price can kind of react from and maybe continue to go higher. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. We noticed that yeah, yesterday EURUSD, for example, even Euro Pound finally reversed a little bit, and Euro a little bit as well. Kind of we saw a little bit of moves to the downside on Euro pairs, but let's see. And then the Japanese index as well. Yeah, looking at the daily time frame, there is maybe price has been. So we have this supply level on this daily time frame. We have kind of this demand zone, and maybe we have something else underneath that one as well. But price has literally kind of been playing in between the middle ones during this last week. Yeah, I think if I go to the world time frame, I can see some demand in there as well, and that's where price has been behaving from. Yeah, just in these mid levels. So a little bit more far away from these extreme levels, just in the middle. And yeah, that's where we have seen that the end pairs have been trading at. Yeah, let's see if price eventually is going to continue to go down. Nice reaction from this supply level. Maybe price can continue to go down towards this level after reacting quite nicely from there. Maybe that's what I'm going to see. Maybe some reaction there and just continue. Yeah, let's see. Okay, so major FX. Second. Right. Right, euro dollar. Guys, let me know if you have any zones that you are looking at. Which pairs do you guys trade? Do you guys stay with Forex, or do you trade anything else like indices, crypto? What do you guys look at? So euro, we have been in this big range, right, after the rejection from the parity level. Again, 14 of July, it was all at the same time. So we have been in this range in here, and I actually mentioned as well, yes, that level in the lower time frame, it was a good zone to look at. However, if we did look at the bigger picture, the natural zone for price to go to eventually from these lows, it would be kind of to retest this previous level of support around this level, right? So this is where price kind of made the decision to break those lows back in 2016-17, and that will be kind of a natural zone to react from. Especially if you take a look at the daily, it will be literally kind of a natural zone too, and maybe there's still a little bit more room to the upside, even though price had already reacted from this nicely this week in here, on this daily chart. Yeah, so we don't really see that many things going on in here on the daily, so eventually that's what you should kind of expect, right? Maybe we can create all this liquidity in here for price to just turn, and maybe now kind of maybe do something like this and continue to go down. Let's see if that's going to happen. If by any chance that the dollar index is ready to go to the upside, maybe that's what we're going to see happening on the euro, but to the downside, right? Last time we spoke, it was on Tuesday. I was indeed still kind of looking for a possible sell in there. Yeah, I did mention this level in here. It was kind of left behind during the NFP without these highs. That zone was taken there on Monday or Tuesday. I don't remember now when it was. Maybe Tuesday, and yeah, we did. Yeah, I think this was Wednesday. We just literally kind of took the lows from the Asian session, and we just kind of moved higher from there, and yeah, it came out the CPI data. It completely broke through that zone that kind of initially I was still kind of looking for a possible sell, which was kind of in alignment as well with this left shoulder in here. Yeah, somewhere in there, in alignment with this left shoulder, with that kind of last surprise level in here, right? And surprise, surprise, what didn't work, kind of what price should have done, something like this, eventually it's going to actually work on the opposite side. So that's kind of a nice reaction from there. Yeah, is what there you go. What usually it doesn't work on the way down, it is going to work on the way up, and that's what euro did. Meanwhile, again, as price is doing that, it actually then broke this low, right? This can work out as well as an engulf to downside. Then if you just think in terms of even what you're looking at this, now you are looking at this price that is available in here. Meanwhile, it makes sense actually where price reacted from here, because it was that previous level that it was not respected on the way down. It was like kind of the last supply zone in here. It's completely rejected. But meanwhile, this is actually an engulf to the downside as well, with kind of open price up until this level, which was the beginning of the when the CPI data came out. And in reality, if you even look at it, the low didn't really react from the demand zone, which was now actually reacted from there. Yeah, you see this level was kind of fresh behind, and it was now reacted from there, and this can actually eventually be seen as an engulf down. Even though if price reacts from here and there's a retracement, maybe that retracement just to go collect the new sell orders, and then eventually price can continue down. And that's why some zones are left behind, just can be collected in the future, works as opening a door, but then retraces and then just continues into the direction. Yeah, that's basically what euro has been doing. So nice reaction from there. There's maybe some potential to go a little bit higher, but yeah, let's see if the dollar index is actually going to start going higher Maybe euro is actually starting to go lower. Maybe somewhere in there. All this looks a little bit compressed now on the way down. There's maybe some orders in here. Not sure if this size took those orders or not. And we'll get a higher time frame. Yeah, maybe some orders in here. Previous level support resistance in there. Maybe a little bit further down can be an option. Looking at this one that it was during the Wednesday that I mentioned that it just kind of swept the lows from the Asian session. That could be actually kind of a indication that from here price actually wants to go further down now, maybe to this level. And yeah, I could see euro going further down. I could see Monday price to carry on just the bearish momentum, kind of opening, maybe taking orders from here and continue the bearish momentum. This one can actually kind of be an engulf down, showing that price wants to go further down. Yeah, maybe something in there could be an option. Yeah, that could be an option. Yep. But from that, almost all this looks compressed to here. This goes, all this looks compressed to me as well. Maybe something in here. Yeah, price kind of took all the orders on the way down. Almost. Maybe this was the extreme. Yeah, but since we already have kind of this double top, eventually price actually wants to return to retrace that dip. Maybe actually going to break out all this double top. So maybe not so deep in there, just something in there. And price can go down. There's a move in there that was created during the news. This spike in here kind of created during the news. Maybe something in here. For price to react from and continue to go down. Yep, I could see euro. I wouldn't mind to see euro going down, open down on Monday, and then to just move down. If we start looking at everything else in here, after price reacted from this demand zone on the left side, it actually started to respect lows. We have been creating lower highs, or higher lows, I mean. Yeah, higher lows. And price respecting it. All this looks compressed to me. This is kind of one of the last zones which price decided to respect. Yeah, that's where kind of it was on last Tuesday when I made the stream, and then price just continued to go higher. So there was no break of this demand zone. I think I mentioned that I would like to see that this demand to be broken even before a turn. That never happened. So yeah, it just took off to the moon. Yeah, next. Pound. Pound, it was the only one of these major FX that didn't really broke the high of the beginning of the month. So euro broke that high, Aussie broke that high, pound it didn't break this high. Yep, we stayed within this level. Even after the CPI data, we still respected initially kind of this zone in here, this supply level. It was fresh. You can see how nicely price reacted from there with that spike in here. In this one, yeah, reacted quite nicely, but then we still had kind of some orders on the top, which is actually where price ended up reacting to. Price went down. It actually broke it, so kind of similar to the euro. It kind of broke that level. There's space to fill all the way until here, and yeah, price just reacted from there on the day after, and it moved on. And if you broke this level again, there's more room to the downside as a confirmation, so there might be a few zones that you could join the move to the downside. And yeah, now nice reaction from kind of where the CPI data started from, and we are here. But yes, interesting to see that pound was the only one that didn't really broke the previous high. We did kind of broke how this level in here and how this was, so this can actually be an engulf to the downside, and maybe from here price actually is going to just continue to go lower. Yeah, that could be one scenario. Yeah, I kind of see this one as an engulf down. Yep, I kind of see this one kind of as an engulf down. So yeah, maybe we're going to see that that happening on this daily time frame. Maybe there's still some orders somewhere in there. Let's see. This actually looks kind of a little bit compressed all the way from here. If we do kind of break underneath this level, I kind of see price can go all the way. Not sure if it's going to respect this level, or can be maybe some reaction from there, but eventually maybe we're going to just continue to the downside. Double low in there. Yeah, all this kind of looks compressed eventually, with the potential for price to go a little bit further down. But let's see how price reacts from there. But yeah, I could see pound continue to go lower. I do have this level in there, created after the GDP data that came out yesterday. So the UK is expecting kind of to be in recession during this last quarter of the year. So yeah, we had a negative GDP data this month, and yeah, eventually that's what is expected, and maybe to last the full 2023. So yeah, the energy prices in the UK, they're going to skyrocket in October, starting in October. Going to be crazy. Yeah, let's see what's going to happen in that scenario. Yes, the US looks like a little bit stronger or healthier than the UK and the Eurozone, so maybe that's why as well. Maybe we could see the continuation of the stronger dollar. Wow. Pound, Euro Pound actually was one that I was kind of looking at for a possible sell. This is what I was looking at. To be honest, I was first looking a little bit at this zone, then I kind of still had this one a little bit above it. I kind of ignored exactly where price reacted from. This supply, I didn't really notice that. I don't think this high actually reacted from there, so in reality it was still fresh, and I kind of ignored it completely. Because I kind of considered that one has already been touched by this spike, and this is kind of the zone more where I was looking for. And yeah, price kind of broke a little bit the zone. The reason for me to start looking at that zone first, yeah, this one was still fresh, kind of somewhere in here, even maybe the reaction from there. This is actually a nice support to resistance zone as well. So it was a combination of a few factors, and then the way actually we started to create all these highs just underneath that level, right? So for me that actually kind of looked quite interesting, even though we didn't really broke kind of these walls in here. In reality, actually broke a little bit these walls just before actually we spiked up, which is actually kind of a good indication. Just even before the final move to actually see these walls being taken, it's actually quite nice to see. It's actually price showing the indication where it wants to go next, even before actually then goes and collects those those orders. Yep, I kind of ignored this level. I was looking a little bit more either underneath this highs, or actually afterwards a little bit in here. Yeah, but then you actually follow the approach. Yeah, my idea is to enter somewhere close to this level with some kind of confirmation, which never really happened. Maybe if this one come a little bit up, then yes. But yeah, some of you, maybe this could have been a good zone to enter. We have the break of a low, another low being created, retracement and go. Even after kind of the break of this one, maybe we can have some confirmation in there to look for a trade. And maybe with the break of this one, kind of we open space, kind of potential to go all the way down. So yeah, but good zone in there on the euro pound. And sometimes some zones that maybe you can have an eye on, they can become just much more interesting just by the way price actually is approaching, right? By creating this accumulation of highs just kind of underneath that level, that kind of creates it becomes even more interesting to trade that zone, or to look at the potential trade around that zone when you have kind of a fresh level just above it, and all of a sudden you start seeing all these highs just being printed just before that. Yep, so let's see. I'm not a big fan still of all of this. I could still see price going farther down on the euro pound. I don't remember now which news was. I think this was during the interest rate decision in the Bank of England last week or 2 weeks ago. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of all this level. I don't think price actually reacted from a good zone on the left side, so I kind of still see eventually price to go farther down. And maybe from here could be a good level for price to do that. Yeah, around this level could be a good zone for price to just continue to go down. So let's see, maybe we are in a potential really good zone for a good trade on euro pound. Aussie. Aussie, we did so there are a few zones that I was looking at when we created this low in here, right? So when we created this low again, 14th of July, our same date. So I saw all this compression. This for me, I've been having this line for so long. This for me is actually kind of an engulf to the upside. However, I could see that price could react from this zone, right? This zone was still fresh. Price could react from there, but for me this was not still the final target from this low. So what I would like to see from here was kind of a deeper retracement. We do have all this compression on from here, starting from there as well, the same way that we have this compression on the way down, we have this compression on the way up. And after we have some kind of a trigger, we could expect price to fill the compression zone. And in here, it's going to make a decision. Literally, it's going to either respect kind of the edge of the compression, or it's going to break the compression, open more space, and from that, then I could expect price to go a little bit further down, either start reacting from this level, or even a little bit more closer to this origin where price came from. Price literally, as you can see, decided to respect the edge of this compression, this extreme. So yeah, no surprise that after price respects this level, that maybe you could see price going to the upside. Kind of same way that I was kind of potentially looking for that sell opportunity on the dollar at that supply. There was kind of a similar zone on the Aussie that I was kind of still kind of potentially looking for a potential sell somewhere in here. Just because I saw that zone is still fresh and decided didn't really reacted from there. But yeah, again, during the CPI, just completely broke through, like not even opportunity to trade. So yeah, but I will check in a bit that you'll see again a zone that was not respected on the way down, it was actually respected on the way up. But looking at the bigger picture now, so the same way that I kind of see this compression, this was a good zone to react from, but not final target. This could be kind of a good zone, or something that could be considered kind of a good final target from this level. Even though for me this could be kind of still an engulf up, and I wouldn't be surprised if price eventually goes all the way back to this level. But now, yes, from these highs, this is actually kind of the move, the zone that you are kind of giving from all this, and this level somewhere in here could be a good zone, or eventually even a little bit above this spike in there, right? So I'm not expecting price for now has been respecting this high in here. I'm expecting actually this high to be broken and for price to get closer to this zone, and from there, yes, maybe from there we're going to start seeing some reaction to the downside on the Aussie, or price will just eventually continue and get a little bit closer to this level. Let's see what's going to happen in there. So you can draw this left shoulder in here. Yeah, so yeah, I will be paying attention for Aussie to kind of react from there, and let's see what's going to happen next. But if you actually compare with this Aussie dollar, it has been kind of the strongest that has been at least moving into a more momentum comparing with the other FX, major FX. So if you take a look at euro, that has created now that double top and moved down. Pound didn't even manage to break the high, and Aussie, it's actually kind of moving in a really momentum situation. Similar a little bit with the New Zealand with the QE, right? So as you can see, kind of one of the last supply levels that we had, it was this fresh level somewhere in there, and yes, maybe somewhere in here as well. So kind of these two levels, and nice reaction from there. And I was actually looking for longs after I saw price breaking it. I started actually looking for maybe a potential trend continuation setup, which is not my strength. However, I was indeed kind of start looking for that. Again, even this level of this left shoulder that broke this low, can you see how nicely actually the wick as well reacted from there? You can check it on 1 minute. Yeah, quite interesting. Our price actually reacted from this level in here. Again, what doesn't work on one side most likely is going to be working on the opposite. Yeah, this fresh supply level was still there. Maybe this one's going to be somewhere reacted in the future, and this one was the other one that price actually reacted quite nicely from there. And as you can see on the lower time frame, price is still trading underneath this that line that I mentioned before. But I'm definitely expecting price to go above it, to take out these highs, and maybe after that, yes, we can start going lower. Yep. Yeah, going lower, and you can see how nicely this one's this small engulfing here is actually kind of opens price a little bit further down. This could have been a good short yesterday morning in there, and there's some PA in here as well. So yeah, this small detail, it kind of it's enough to see it as an engulf. Meanwhile, we kind of broke again this double low. Let's see a little bit of breaking lows. It's nice to see before price maybe even gets to the zone that you want. We are reacting from this demand zone. Maybe we're going to just bounce from here, going higher, and hopefully what I'm looking for is for price to kind of have some reaction from here and eventually eventually to turn to the downside. We did broke this double O in there. Maybe final zone could be somewhere in there. And it's nice to see that Aussie is starting to create again kind of a zone of compression. Apparently Aussie likes to create these compression zones, and eventually we're going to fill it, fill all the way back to the level. So that's going to be one of the opportunities that I'm going to be looking for next week for sure. Potential Aussie short from that zone. That's been one of the pairs that I've been following the most recently. So yeah, I will be looking for sure for potential setup in there. Yep. And on the other side, for example, Euro Aussie is literally finally retesting these lows. It reacted quite nicely. A few times from this zone in here. From all these lows in here, until eventually we move to the downside. We did broke this high in here, and price now kind of reacted after that, kind of from this previous level of kind of support resistance somehow. However, if you actually look at the bigger picture, I'm not sure if price will hold, if this low is going to hold price up, or if I'm expecting actually a new low to be created below this low. I'm not sure exactly from where, but maybe a new low being created before maybe a turn. This actually is an engulf down in here before this major move up. Actually, maybe literally massive. Interesting. Yeah, there are quite a few, one or two zones in here that I may look at, but so far price again moving with some strength. There is no break of a highs so far on this move down. Even this was a little bit of one, but aside from that, price is being going down and down and down. And yeah, I want to see literally some weakness, or I will literally just wait for this low to be broken, collect liquidities of that guy, and yeah, go to the left side, try to see any good fresh level, and maybe take some opportunities from there. And even if I'm looking for a reversal, I will be quite conservative with my targets, because we are literally in a bearish move at this point. So I don't really want to be expecting or shooting for expecting my targets to be that far away. If you're looking for shorts, maybe that's going to be your opportunity. Yeah. So how this move down, I'm not sure if it hasn't been so much correlated with the for example, the move down, it started on the 1st of July, and the move up on the hours, it started on the 14th of July. But yeah, there have been some moments in here that they are not as uncorrelated as they usually are. Mostly maybe because of the dollar weakness being controlled in there. Aussie yen as well. Aussie yen, after that strong move, that it was predicted, that we talked about a few weeks ago, even before all this move down was created, it literally, there you go, it literally filled the space of the space we created with this engulf down and this engulf down. It would come all the way down and reacted from there. After that, it has been kind of just coming all the way up. Now we have indeed this double top in here. And maybe now that's going to be the moment that we finally may go a little bit above it, somewhere close to this, to the higher high that you can see in there. Yeah, maybe expecting some reaction somewhere from here to make it look like that actually this high is being respected. but eventually we may just continue to go higher until maybe we have a good turn in there. But the difference is we did have this space before, and now we don't really have that space anymore, because price actually is reacting from a good zone now. So there's not exactly that open space as before, so the dynamic of the trade, of the setup, it changes. One thing is when we still have space underneath it, and the thing is when we don't have it, and we are literally just looking for a possible reaction from a fresh level. So there are two different, they offer two different kind of opportunities. The expected value of the setups, they differ. When you have just a good zone, maybe to expect some reaction from it, or actually when you have some space that maybe price wants to then fill from that fresh level. So yeah, you can see like the moves hasn't been that great. Lots of spike moves in here. Yeah, not that great at all. Let's see how price is going to react from there, and eventually how price is going to go and maybe react somewhere from there. Yep, dollar yen. Dollar yen. So yeah, we moved down, right? It's in the middle right now. If you're about to ask me, is this a good zone for a final target from the sellers? I'm not sure. I would like to see maybe dollar yen to go a little bit farther below. But it's literally in the middle. Something that you can see is actually a nice reactions. I think euro dollar did something similar when it was moving down in 2021 last year, which is these zones. Which is kind of when you have this move down, and then you have the zone that is retraced to the upside, that will kind of create, that becomes a really nice zone in the future, and eventually kind of break down, we kind of go down in the future for price to actually become a good zone for price to react from and go, just like this one. When you have then a good move to the downside, price retrace to the upside, eventually breaks it, and this level becomes a really interesting zone to look for a reaction. You can go and study euro dollar move to the downside. Anytime it was making some retracements, it was kind of reaction somehow from that kind of low that originated a good retrace to the upside. Then of course price broke it, just wait for the retest, and eventually from there. It's, for example, the same way that eventually we do have this low in here, and now price of course did this retracement. Let's pretend that now price is going to eventually continue somewhere in here, it's going to break down, and eventually when it retraces again, maybe it's going to be a good zone to look for a reaction from there. And damn it, yeah, breakdown. Yep, goes down, eventually kind of may react from here, and there you go, maybe reacts from there and then continues. Yeah, maybe not so linear sometimes, maybe create something structure in there, price goes and then yes, retrace from there and go. But yeah, usually becomes a really nice interesting zone to look for a reaction, just like it's happening. Yep. So nice zones to look for trend continuation setups. Now, is this the final target for the dollar yen? I am not sure. From the sellers, could we have a deep retrace from here and expect to go higher? Good. We had this supply level. Looking at the daily zone, we did broke this low. Price maybe should have respected to the downside from here. It didn't. For me, it looked like that this week in here I'd already kind of taken those orders from there, but we literally just reacted from there one more time. We may have maybe a better zone in here for price to at least go maybe the final move, use this low as liquidity, or maybe then have some kind of reaction to the upside. Eventually this could be a good zone as well. Yeah, but I actually like this one. This can be a good zone actually for price to go there take the liquidity from this low, and then yes, then we can have that that major reversal to the upside, and then maybe continue to go lower. Yep, I do like this level now. Eventually we do have all these highs, this previous level of structure, 126 mark, where this level reacted from. So let's see if price is ready to come all the way down. Yep, I would like to see something like that. It's kind of pretend to work. Yep, and now it retraces. Go higher from there, maybe now react from this level in there and go down. Yeah, that could be interesting. There's still something in there as well. Yep, it's in the middle. Let's see what's going to happen. Let's see what is going to happen in here. Yeah, this was during the CPI, big move down, nice reaction from here. Yep, nice reaction from there up after kind of breaking this one. Yep, kind of opening this price in there. Yeah, nice. Let's see what's next. On the end, there's maybe some orders still from here as well. We could see if we kind of start creating good liquidity in here. Maybe you don't even need to break this low, and price can actually maybe just react from somewhere in there and go higher without even the need of breaking this low and going to the other one that I just mentioned before. Yeah, I'm just going to wait to see how price goes and moves close to the extremes. Dollar CAD. I haven't really looked at dollar CAD. I mean, I follow it, but I haven't been looking for trades on dollar CAD. I do like this zone where it reacted from. Kind of this is where price made all this move down, even though we created all these highs in here. This high is actually, this is the extreme of the zone, it's not here. So nice reaction actually from there, exactly from the extreme. So since we didn't really broke this level, this actually became a really nice zone, and expecting then a lower low to be created. And I don't really think this is going to be the last zone, so I'm kind of still bearish on the dollar CAD, expecting dollar CAD to continue to move to the downside, at least until somewhere in here, or with potential to go even further down. But yeah, this is kind of what I'm expecting on dollar CAD, just continue to go down. From where it may still respect this high, we have maybe a few levels to look for. Let's see from where. However, I do prefer to, yeah, I think it's going to go further down. Not really sure if this one is the one that's going to hold price up and see a big reaction from there. Nothing much on dollar CAD for me. When it gets closer to the extremes, then it's going to be a different topic. Dollar franc Swiss, it finally reached one of the targets that I've been looking at. Even after the move, after kind of price respected this double top, this was actually one of the zones that I was looking at, right? I didn't really like anything like this. This was compressed for me. I was expecting eventually for price to go and fill kind of this price in here. For now, price is reacting nicely from this level, which is exactly the kind of this level of support, previous resistance and support in there. Really nice reaction. There's maybe a little bit farther down where price can actually go and react from. Maybe take now the liquidity from this. Interesting thing that we kind of broke this high in there. So that could be interesting to see. Maybe we can have price going down. Something somewhere in here. Take this guy and go higher, and maybe just react from this next level of support resistance, or even in here. And then maybe it's going to continue to the downside. But there's maybe an opportunity to look for a long in there. with price going and filling maybe this price that was now open with this small break to the upside. Yep, maybe that could be an interesting scenario. On the other hand, if we do kind of break a little bit more into this level, eventually I'm not looking for anything else in there because this looks a little bit compressed. And if we actually take a look at it, this for me is actually kind of an engulf to the downside already that was created on the way up. And most likely price eventually is going to go and want to fill the next level, which is kind of composed with this demand zone. And you can even continue to go further down and further down. Yeah, this level may have been already reacted from there. And now this looks compressed. So yeah, something in there. So let's see. But for now, this is going to be kind of a zone that I'll be paying attention to see what the dollar index is going, what the dollar franc Swiss is going to be doing. Yeah, we finally kind of reach one of the targets from how that move up. It took a lot of time, but yeah, we finally are getting there. Yeah, nice zone, nice reaction from there. Nice reaction, and it's going to be definitely a zone that I'll be looking for. Yep, maybe just to fill the space all the way up until this kind of supply zone, which is kind of when the CPI data came out. Align this maybe support resistance in there with this low. Yeah, that could be an option. This for me, I think I see it as an engulf to the upside. So it's just a question of, is it going to happen still with this above these lows, or are we actually going a little bit further down to then react to the next level? And there is maybe a 12 pip distance between kind of this low and maybe the next level, which kind of maybe could be interesting to see. Yeah, maybe that fake out and price to go higher, and yeah, and to go. It's even maybe another setup even before that, which is the smaller scale. Even though I'm maybe not a big fan of how prices now have moved in here, not sure if there's anything in there. But after we actually maybe break these lows, kind of showing that we want to go further down, maybe somewhere until here. Yep, take out this white twist, take out this white twist and go twist until there. So if price by any chance does this, yep, there is a 1 second. If price by any chance does this, there is a potential of even retracing all the way a little bit close to the highs, and maybe even looking for some kind of sell in here. Yeah, maybe some kind of sell to actually then go all the way down, and then yes, and then maybe fake out this low and then go higher and fill the other space. It says 2 trades in the different scales, but with confirmation of space. Yep, and now fill all that space to the upside. Yeah, of course, not in this straight line, with some other movements in there. But yeah, this could be an option. This could definitely be an option. I think that price wants to go down, up. Jesus, can't even draw an arrow now. Yeah, somewhere until there. So let's see. Something to keep an eye on for next week. I'll definitely keep an eye on that. Yep, gold. Yeah, gold in the bigger picture. Did we took this well? Don't think we did. It would have been nice to see this zone being taken, and I don't think we did. Yep, let's go. This reacting now from a really good zone on the higher time frame. However, we may just see price going even higher. There is this last zone in there. If you do break that level, then kind of almost everything is compressed on the way up. So not even surprised if price eventually goes all the way back even to this level or even above this high. So all this kind of starts looking a little bit compressed with potential actually for price to go even higher. But let's see how price behaves from this level now. Because we didn't broke the wall, question mark, maybe just continue to go higher. There's this zone in here. Our price will just continue to go higher. So we did react it quite nicely actually from these previous lows. So let's see what's going to happen next on gold. Yeah, it has been compressing, it has been losing a little bit of momentum, but again, I do want to see some lows to be broken on the way up before looking for that major reversal. There were some trades to be taken in here, but in terms of major reversal, yeah, it's still a little bit cautious with that. We did broke this one. It reacted straight away from the next one, so yeah, some cautious. All right, guys, it's super hot in here. There's a heat wave, another one in the UK. So yeah, just going to take a look at crypto. So let's take a look at Ethereum. That is kind of in a really strong momentum to the upside, and BTC is following it as well. So Ethereum, go to the heading here. These are still the old drawings. I can delete some of this stuff. Yeah, price took all those supplies on the way up. Yep. So it's moving a little bit to the downside. So a good exercise actually, if you want to do it, it will be okay. Let's kind of start from the highs. Let's start from the higher high. Maybe I could do that on Tuesday. It's a good exercise. Start from the higher highs, right, and start following any fresh supply that is still available. As price is going down and every supply that is being created, which one is still available or is still fresh? By available I mean fresh. Which one is still fresh and which one has been taken already on the way down. Aside from that, you can also try to identify which, aside from the supplies, you can also maybe try to identify in each scenario you kind of have a Quasimodo pattern in there, right? Imagine that we have a supply in here. Yeah, price kind of moved down. It created kind of a left shoulder. Price went up. It left the supply fresh. The price went down again, and now yes, and now kind of it reacted from the supply, and maybe there's some kind of supply in here, and price moved down. So it's not just to look at where is that kind of supply level, but also where do we have this kind of left shoulder as a confirmation as well, and this kind of can become even more even stronger. So yeah, where is the what are the supplies created on the way down? Which ones are still fresh? Which ones do we have maybe a left shoulder to trade from as well? And aside from that, which ones we actually have price going down, retracing, and instead of taking the orders from the supply, it actually kind of pauses before that, even creates maybe a double top, and then price just goes down, right? In this case, what you're looking at is seeing kind of space, right? We have this double top in here that was created, and price never really went higher to take the orders from the supply above. So that actually then becomes a really good zone to look for orders, to look for some reaction in the future. Now, when you are doing this exercise, there's going to be maybe some zones that may be actually, of course, more important than others. And something that also it's good to see is which ones actually are in alignment as well. It may be some kind of level of importance, support, and resistance from when price moves, right? Like imagine that from this zone, from that supply level, we actually have kind of an important kind of level of support and resistance aligned with that. It gives even a little bit more of a strength to the level, right? Let's pretend that price kind of reacted for a few times from here, even on the opposite side. And then from here actually kind of made out that high and something like this, right? Let's pretend that even price moved like this. It's kind of an important level of support resistance with a fresh supply now in there. We have liquidity just underneath it. So this can be actually a really important zone to look for a big reversal. Or some other times we just have kind of a small supply in there, not so much important, but we can still see price kind of reacting from here, and in an intraday level you can find a good trade setup. Okay, so this is actually a good exercise you can go through. For example, when you have this left shoulder as well, let's see if price didn't took the left shoulder on the way down. For example, if we had that spike happening, if this high already reacted from there and now goes down, of course this level becomes weaker in the future, right? So we can start following that as well. Has price already taken the orders from that left shoulder or not, right? With that supply. No. Actually, I liked what you had in there. Deleted it, right? So yeah, go ahead, do that exercise, and then be surprised to see how price then eventually is going to react from there. Even for example, when you have kind of a compression zone. Even when you have a compression zone, for me, basically all these looks compressed. Right, from all these highs, almost all these looks actually kind of a compressed move, right? Maybe you had this last supply in there where kind of price reacted from in here. And after that, it's almost all of it compressed. Maybe there was a little bit of a supply in there, price has been touched. There was this supply in here that maybe that one was a little bit touched, but it was not really touched, which is literally kind of where price reacted from the last 2 days. We are on the 4-hour time frame. I assure you that there are some opportunities in there on the lower time frame to take from. There's maybe this supply in here as well, where maybe price wants to still react from, because maybe this high didn't really reacted from. But again, all these looks like compressed, so just expect some kind of small intraday reactions from there. Maybe don't expect, actually, if by any chance you're looking for a major reversal, don't expect that to happen from these levels. Eventually price most likely is going to go and fill until the other extreme of the compression zone. However, there are some reactions that we can see happening from there. This supply zone, yeah, it was being taken already from there, so we may have still this left shoulder in here that maybe in this zone, maybe there's still something in there. Yeah, then eventually after you break out this zone, this kind of can be the next zone to look for. And after you do that exercise, you start noticing, okay, maybe this is where maybe we can start seeing or expecting eventually for price to go to and react from. And for example, this one is still fresh in there. Something in here, there's maybe something fresh as well. And then there are another situation is when price went up and now it's moving down, right? Price went up and now it's moving down. and it's moving down. At least for me, one thing is when price is moving down and it creates kind of, price doesn't go down like this, right? But price is maybe going down with some retracements in here. These supply zones for me are kind of a little bit more important. Whatever it's supply zone in here, they're a little bit more important than the ones that are created when price does this. Yeah, when price does this, comparing, for example, if you do have a supply zone in here, I do kind of give a little bit more importance to the ones created in here than the ones that are created in the future, when price kind of has some kind of retracement. These ones can work really nicely as price is moving away, from the level. So yeah, kind of looking for maybe to react from this supply zone in here. Look for a sell as price is moving away, as price is creating supplies and going. Then comparing then in the future when price actually is kind of retracing all the way back from wherever it's coming from, and to expect actually then this zone to kind of work quite nicely. Yeah, I would prefer to see kind of this side to be taken and price to eventually to go and react from something else. Unless we did had kind of maybe all these left shoulders, that this is maybe where then price just reacted from, and you had this high to be faked out, and now we have this supply zone in here, and that maybe price now this high reacted from. This high now reacted from the supply that was left behind because this high didn't react from there. And yes, in this case maybe this could be a good zone and for price to react from in the future. Yeah, just practice that. Yeah, and be surprised and how price actually how nicely price maybe reacts from there. And you start testing it, start to see exactly on which kind of supply levels and which kind of the momentum we are actually having. For example, what I mean before is, yes, price is moving down. Yeah, price is creating some kind of supply levels, right? But instead of then looking for some, this is maybe not even the best scenario. Price kind of will need to do this. Yeah, to avoid even looking for this and actually start looking for the next one above it. Yeah, this is not even the best scenario, best example. So yeah, looking at Ethereum, right? Yeah, bullish. Just one small detail in here, the same way that I mentioned before, that I do like to see walls being broken right on the way up. And even when I made that prediction, right? When I made that prediction of this could have been the beginning or a setup for a major reversal. You want to still keep following what price is doing, right? First of all, I mentioned all the time that price actually reacted from a really nice demand zone, so there is not exactly space, even though we are actually reacting from a good level on the left side. There was not exactly space in there. We did broke this low and reacted straight away from a zone in there on the world time frame. Remove drawing. No, 1 second. But what we would like to, for example, what I would have liked to see is when price is moving away from here. First of all, I mentioned as well that I didn't really like how much time price spent in here. I would like to see kind of a faster move for that to happen. And then I would have liked to see a new low being created in here as confirmation. Because what we have in here is just price turning. Yeah, we did kind of break this low, but you don't have a new low being created after that. And this second low for me kind of gives me a stronger confirmation that actually price wants to follow through and then eventually wants to continue to the downside, and creating that kind of scenario that I mentioned that I really like it. Yeah, something like that. In this case, we literally just move like this, and I would have liked to see this happening and never happened. Actually, this will manage to hold price up quite nicely, and yeah, price just continue to move higher. Eventually broke a new high, we kind of took this low, but it didn't really took the other extreme of this compression. We still stayed inside there. However, this for me can be seen as an engulf now for the future. But yeah, in that moment, that's what we had. So yeah, understanding the dynamics of the patterns as well. Like when should you expect kind of a pattern to start being respected or not. I even mentioned as well 1 week ago, even before we start breaking this level, that I was seeing that price was taking every single supply level that was that has been created in here, and as price actually starts to take out those supply levels without actually kind of moving away or having a proper move away from the zone, eventually this level is just getting weaker and weaker and weaker, and eventually going to see the breakthrough, right? And indeed we had this breakthrough in here with this strong candle, because there were no more orders in here. Prices literally kind of taken and taken and taken, every single one of them, until price just completely broke through. So yeah. So what's next in here? Again, I wouldn't be surprised if I see price going, Ethereum going all the way and feel this price, feel this compression. There's maybe some supply level in there that could attract price, or could see some kind of reaction from there. Maybe even using actually the low. I don't know if that's where price is reacting now from today, but yeah, somewhere in there could be some reaction, but eventually for price to go higher. Yeah, now zone above, we really have this kind of level of support resistance. This for me is kind of has been already taken. Yeah, it has been taken by this level in here, exactly this one. So I don't really give that much strain to that zone anymore, and maybe somewhere in there could be something above this triple, above all these highs. Yeah, maybe above these highs could be something in there for price to react from as well, and somewhere in there. Let's see what Ethereum is going to do. The momentum is bullish. If I start seeing some kind of behavior as a reversal, I will be paying attention to it. In the war time frame, yep, nice reaction from there. Nice reaction from this level, this demand zone in here, where it reacted from, moved away. Now there is a little bit of space in here. Yeah, now it's kind of just keep following the compressions. A little bit of space, we did kind of broke that level. Fluctuated from there, broke it, kind of price reacted from there. Now it moved down. This could be a good zone then in the future. Somewhere in there. Even eventually for price to go somewhere in here as well. Yep, just keep following it. Yep. Maybe feeling out this compression could be a scenario. The price moved away. Yeah, this was one of the last supply zones in there. Reaction straight away from the next one. Yeah, interesting. However, still going higher. Bitcoin. Yeah, BTC, it respected the demand, it didn't work it through. Yeah, it respected this demand zone, after that it just moved higher. We didn't really broke this high, right? We must stay below Which reveal that Ethereum is trading at different levels than Bitcoin. Compression moves in here have been interesting. We did broke a little bit of this low in there, and this one. Yeah, Ethereum looks much more bullish than Bitcoin. We are reacting from that level in there. Maybe the retest of the 26,700 could be interesting. Or maybe just something in here, which I have no idea what's going on in there. Yeah, and let's see if there is something in there to then reverse. Yeah, taking the double top, and then let's see. This is where price is reacting from. Yeah, going above this level could be interesting. Yeah, going above this level could be interesting to see. Yep. Yeah, just take the double top and then maybe look for shorts. Yeah, just take that double top and then let's see. Yeah, let's see. Just completely different. Maybe some reaction from somewhere in there. Yeah, it looks much more bullish. Ethereum from now. And Solana. I think we did broke the high again. Yep, nice reaction. Really nice reaction. So yeah, this was a move I talked about like 2 weeks ago. Still maybe some reaction from there after the break of the lows. Again, seeing lows being broken. Seeing lows being broken on the way up, which is a really good sign. Right, we did broke these lows. Even before getting there, price just reacted from this level. And then price still reacted from this level. And from now on, we didn't broke the lows. You see, price just respected the demand zone and it's ready to go higher and to break the highs, right? So no break of demand, and of it shows that price is in a good way to go higher. I've mentioned a few times, I kind of see how this almost as a compression zone. I wouldn't be surprised if price kind of feels this level, even since price broke this one, that I'm kind of looking at that level. But again, just the same thing that I mentioned on Ethereum. Just because we may be in a really higher time frame compression doesn't mean that there aren't kind of still fresh maybe supply levels in there that price can react from and actually have a good reaction from, right? Maybe there was this level, maybe now a little bit above it, not sure about this, maybe something in here could happen, and so on. And eventually I wouldn't be surprised if Solana doesn't go react from somewhere a little bit above that zone, react from that level and above this high. So we are talking about maybe, let's see if that happens or not, but yeah, kind of getting maybe close to this level at where are we? 56. Yeah, kind of 56 something. We even have kind of this double top in here. It was faked out. So yeah, it's 56 level. I wouldn't be surprised if price eventually gets there. 56, 55, whatever. So let's see. Let's see actually if this is not now turning there. Yep, let's see what's going to happen next. So let's see how price actually reacts from this level, because actually there's maybe a good opportunity to sell from here now up until here. Yeah, this may be a good zone. But yeah, bigger picture, I wouldn't be surprised with that. Okay. Yep, I think that's it. Thank you for taking the time to join me to watch it, even if you're watching the recording. Thank you so much. Yeah, next time you can interact with me, just ask questions. Even if you are watching the recording, ask questions and I'll try to I'll answer them in the next live stream, which is going to be Tuesday. It's always Tuesdays and Saturdays. Tuesdays at 6 p.m. and Saturdays at 12 p.m. UK time. So yeah, wishing everyone a great weekend, good beginning of the week, and I'll see you guys next Tuesday. Enjoy your weekend, guys. This hot wave that is in here. Thank you. See you next time. Obrigado.